Hi guys, this is David from the AGsploration team, and I'm here today to give you some helpful hints and show you how to do the activity that goes along with the food, fiber, and more lesson. So basically in the activity you're going to make glue, which is an animal byproduct. So this is all the stuff that you're going to need to use the activity. I will caution you and say that the activity can get a little messy, but that just makes the kids like it even more. So the things that you'll need to do the activity, you'll need 2 bowls. Any size bowls will work. We found this is a good size. They don't need to be too big. We're not making a huge amount of measuring stuff, so this is a good size. They need coffee filters. In the lesson it says 1. We found it's better to give the kids 2 coffee filters. When they get wet they could rip and tear and that makes a mess, so just giving them 2 adds a little extra layer of protection. You need dry milk. You can find this in any grocery store, and you just need the little packets like this. It doesn't take a ton, so 1 box should go pretty far. Or you can use regular milk. If you use regular milk, you're going to need to heat it up first. You'll need regular white distilled vinegar, baking soda, some type of stirring implement. We give all the kids just a regular spoon. They can have forks, other things too, and your measuring cups. So the ones that you'll definitely need: a 1/4 cup, 1 tablespoon, 1/4 teaspoon, all those. You can use basically any measuring cups, and if you don't have the right ones, you can make the kids even convert the ones that you do have into what we need for the lesson. And then the last thing, if you're using the dry milk, you need to have hot water, because our first step is going to be making that milk. But this is all the stuff that you need to do the lesson. All right, so now we get to the fun part, the actual activity, and we're going to make glue. So the first thing I always do to do this activity is print out the activity sheet that's in the curriculum. I've probably taught this lesson 25, 30 times, but I still like to have this with me as a reference so that I can make sure I'm doing the steps right. We've printed it out and given it to the kids before too. You can do that so they can follow along, but we've also found that if you give it to them, they tend to jump ahead, not pay attention, and not listen. So it might be better just for you to give the directions. You can decide how you want to do it for your group of kids. So basically, step 1 is we're going to make milk. So if you're using the dried milk, you need to get that now. You need 1 bowl. So if they have the other bowl, they can put the filters in it and lay it to the side. We'll get to using that later, but you just need 1 bowl to start. So if you're going to make milk, we need to start by getting 2 tablespoons of the dried milk. Into our bowl. And a 1/4 cup of hot water. And we found the warmer, the hotter the water, the better the mixture, the better the reactions that we've gotten. Again, this step is just basically making milk to start the process. So once they've got the water and the dried milk together, they just need to stir it up with their spoon or stirring implement, whatever you've given them. And they just want to get it nice and smooth like normal milk would be. Now, if you are going to use normal milk, and this question has come up before, all you need is a 1/4 cup of warm milk. You don't need to add water to the milk. That will make it just waterier. So we have made our milk. Now we're going to begin by starting with our chemical reactions. So in this next step, you need your vinegar. Just regular white distilled vinegar works, and you only need a tablespoon of it. Now it's important to tell the kids before they pour it in that they're going to want to notice the reactions that are taking place and kind of note and write down what's happening. So you just need a tablespoon of vinegar, and then just dump it into your milk. And you're going to see stuff happening right away, and then you're going to want to just stir. Basically what you're going to see is all these solids starting to form. And this is very similar to the nursery rhyme everybody knows from they were little with Little Miss Muffet, because we are getting our curds and whey here. So the curds are the solids that are forming in the milk, and the whey is the liquid. Now you can tell them we've even made 2 byproducts here, the curds and the whey. The whey can be used to feed to animals. And this is the same process that we would be using if we were going to make cottage cheese or regular cheese and getting these curds out of there. So once it's mixed up pretty well, this is where our next bowl and the coffee filters come in. So we in the lesson say that you need to give them at least 1 coffee filter. We found it's better to give them 2 in case that one rips. You've got another one for protection. So you basically just pour the mixture you just created into the coffee filter. And we're trying to get all the solids and the liquids separated. So this part can become a little messy. because they kind of need to squeeze a little bit to drain that out. With the dried milk, some of it clumps really, really well, so you might not even need to squeeze that much. They can just kind of pick the thicker lumps out. But if you squeeze it to get all the way out, you're left with those curds, nice solid. So basically once you get that separated out, just put it back in the other bowl again. Set this aside, that's going to be your discard bowl. And once you've got the curds or the solids out, we're going to take the spoon and just kind of chunk it up as much as you can, okay? And you're just breaking it up to try to get smaller pieces so that when you go to mix your glue, it'll be smoother in the end. So there you go. It's just kind of broken up into those smaller pieces. Now comes our measuring part again. So we have measurements down on the sheet for you. Those aren't exact, and basically we're just going to create glue to the consistency that we want it. So we'll start by adding a 1/4 tablespoon of baking soda to the mixture. And then a teaspoon of water. And again, you want to tell the kids to kind of note what's happening because those are questions on the follow-up worksheet. And then once you get it, just stir it together. But you're going to see some bubbling, you might hear some hissing as the baking soda and water get mixed together. And now you're just going for the consistency that you want. It can be thicker like a glue stick, or you can get it nice and thin if you want more like a regular bottled glue would be. Just keep mixing and mixing until you have it the way that you want it. Mine's pretty good. So we've made glue. Now we like to let the kids use the glue to do something. At Thanksgiving we've made turkeys, at Valentine's Day we made Valentines, but the kids want to see if the glue works, and it does. It does need to sit a little bit to dry, but you can let them use it. The other questions that we get from the kids is can they eat the glue? And we've got it from elementary schoolers and high schoolers. So the answer is yes, it's perfectly humanly safe to eat. It's not going to taste very good though. And then finally, you can store this glue. You need to put it in the refrigerator because it does have milk product in it, but you can store it for a day or two and use it, and it'll work just fine. And that's the how you make glue portion of the lesson. I hope you enjoyed. Well, thanks for making glue with me today, guys. Hopefully you found that useful. And for more helpful tips or to get any one of our other 21 lessons, you can go to our website. That's extension.umd.edu/AGsploration.